Welcome to Chappy's Tiki Bar. This is the Rat Pack episode. Today I'm going to make a dirty martini and then we're off to Great Falls, Montana. I'm going to critique the Alberta Motel. Then we're going to go to Howard's Pizza and then the City Bar and then Borie's and the world famous Sip and Dip. And then we're off to Hawaii. I'm going to show you a couple places where I had Chicken Katsu. Then I'm going to make Chicken Katsu. We got best tropical destination stories and a few Vegas tricks coming right up on Chappy's Tiki Bar. Ring-a-ding-ding, baby. This is the Rat Pack edition of Chappy's Tiki Bar. I'm Chappy. This is my bar. In the front here is Fred. He's a regular at the bar. So today we're doing everything Rat Pack and old school. So I'm going to start out with my favorite Rat Pack bit. So Frank's playing in the sands and Sammy comes to the audience and gets on stage. Frank goes to Sammy, "Sammy, I really like your suit. That's very sharp." Sammy goes, "Well, thank you, Frank. I'm glad you like it. I had it custom made for dancing." Frank goes, "Ballroom?" Sammy goes, "Little bit." So we're going to get started by making a dirty martini. So I have my martini shaker. I got some ice from my 1970s ice bucket that my parents got as a wedding gift. Now I have a dirty martini mix. If you don't have the mix, you can just use the brine from the green olives. All right, then we're going to go with a little bit of vodka, schmacking off. So this is a dirty vodka martini. And then here's my trick. It's a little trick I learned from Charlie back in Da Nang. Did you hear that? No, I didn't learn it from Charlie in Da Nang. My brother showed me it. So basically, you got your martini glass. In martini bar, sometimes they'll just give it a wash with the dry vermouth and dump it out just so you have the glasses coated with the dry vermouth. I carry a spray bottle. And I just give it a little spritz. And then you have the essence of the dry vermouth on the glass without overpowering the drink. So we're going to go ahead and give this a shake, shake, shake. So another good Frank Sinatra line is, I feel sorry for people that don't drink because when they wake up, that's the best they feel all day. So it's going to... It's a new martini shaker, so I like the other one I had better. It had holes in the top, so you could just pour it out. I have to struggle with opening it. So we're gonna into the martini glass that we spritzed with the dry vermouth, and then we're gonna do the big green olives for garnish. I think I'll go 3 just because they're so nice. And that's my dirty martini. Ooh, that's nice. All right, I'm going to go find Mookie and we're going to do best tropical destination stories coming right up. All right, we're back. Mookie, hold my cigarette. Okay, you might remember in episode 1 where Mookie got drunk and fell off the bar. So she's not drinking today. She doesn't like the martinis. She only drinks white wine spritzers now. Okay, so now we're at the segment of the show. We call it Best Tropical Destinations. Mookie usually summons the tiki drums. You want to summon the tiki drums, Mookie? Why is your tail wagging? Are you drunk again? I like your bow tie. You can be Sammy. I'm Frank, okay? All right, so we're going to summon the tiki drums. All right. Where were you when I needed you, Mookie? You really let me down. All right, so if you have any good tropical destination stories, email me. Send your best tropical destination stories to chappiness tiki bar at yahoo.com. So for today's episode, we have what? The best tropical destination story from Mookie in Calgary, Alberta. Is that you? I didn't know you had an email address. How'd you get internet access? See, Mookie's a rescue dog from Arizona, so I don't really know her past, but apparently she has sent in her best tropical destination story. So I can't confirm if it's true or not, but we'll see. Somehow I doubt it. She's a little smartass. But anyways, so best tropical destination story from Mookie in Calgary, Alberta. Goes like this. So my father was an architect, and his boss sent him to check out a building he designed, so he got to take the whole family on an all-expense trip to Hawaii. So when we got there, my youngest brother Bobby found a tiki idol at the construction site, so he decided to put it on a string and wear it around his neck for good luck. But unfortunately, this turned out to be bad luck for the entire family. It all started when our housekeeper Alice put her back out when she was taking a hula lesson, and then my oldest brother Greg almost died in a surfing competition. And then my middle brother Peter got his wiener bit by a tarantula. And I'm pretty sure my sister Marcia lost her virginity to some Samoan guy. Wait a second. Mookie, this is an episode from the Brady Bunch. What are you trying to do to me? All right. Well, that was an epic fail. So I hope you enjoy the episode, and we're off to Great Falls, Montana for the weekend. Ring-a-ding-ding. So we arrived in Great Falls. It was cold. We kept the shine on the bar with the sleeves of our coat. No, take two. We arrived in Great Falls and we checked into the Alberta Motel. That's the Alberta Motel and Annex. They have 10 rooms in the motel itself. Wi-Fi and pets are welcome. They also have an extended stay area in a separate building. So it's located at 1101 Central Avenue West. And that's again in Great Falls, Montana. And the office hours are 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. So don't come late. They also have an area called the Court back from the main motel. It has 7 units, and it's designed made up by taking various materials and transforming them into a themed experience. All these units have a kitchen, sleeping area, and a bathroom. So we checked in. I always get room number 5, so I stay there a lot. Room number 5 has, as you can see, a nautical theme. Check out 11 a.m. So I like this room not only just for the nautical theme. You can see they have towels that don't match, and then there's a sort of like a little radiator thing that you can step on that it's hot. But I really like this room. You can see, is that the Edmonds Fitzgerald? No. They have an ice bucket with a nautical theme, and then they have sort of like a little library with, I guess, books about ships and stuff. There's the library. And then the main reason I like this room is the king-size bed. And then there's little mints on the pillow. There's also a coffee maker, and they give you little powdered donuts for breakfast in the morning. And then they also have in the back there a refrigerator and a microwave. That's with the coffee maker again. But I guess the real reason I like this room is it's $50 US a night. Now, having said that, you don't always get the ideal neighbors with that reasonable price. And I should mention there was an incident when we checked in. So Brad and I, we checked in and we each got our own room. I got my usual room number 5 and he got room number 2. And then we noticed there was a guy checking in behind us. However, there was no vacancy. So we kind of pieced together that what had happened, or at least this is what I think happened. So Brad and I were checking in, and this guy shows up in a taxi with a prostitute, and he tells the prostitute, "I'm just going to get a room. Meet me in my room." So he goes to try to check in, but there's no vacancy. So meanwhile, this prostitute, we found out later her name was Melissa, and she was literally so high, I believe she forgot what the guy looked like that she had come to the motel with. So as I'm going to my room, Melissa gets out of the taxi and just starts following me into my room. And she was just going to walk in like she was staying there. And I kind of stopped her in the doorway, and she just said, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here." And I was thinking quick on my feet. I said, "No, but you're in room number 2, which was Bradley's room." So she started walking towards Bradley, and Bradley's frantically trying to get his key in the door. And then, funny enough, Brad got a little bit confused. And she was trying to get into Brad's room, and the girl saw a bit of resistance, and she looked back at me, and I said, "No, you're in the right room." And Brad still didn't realize what was going on, and he started arguing with her, and his exact words were, "No, I'm in room number 2." Just to back up a bit, so this girl looks extremely high. I believe she's on fentanyl, and she's wearing sweatpants and a toque. And at this point, her and Brad have this whole Abbott and Costello routine going on. Who's in room number 2? So at the point where Brad says, "No, I'm in room number 2," she gives him this look like, "Well, duh." So Brad said even though she was so high she could hardly speak, she gave him this duh look with such confidence he began to doubt whether or not he was staying in room number 2. So I'm just going to stop the footage here. I managed to get Brad to recreate the duh look. So that's Brad recreating the duh look. Now I'm going to give my best shot at what it looked like. I think Brad's is a little bit better. So finally the guy comes out of the office and he couldn't check into the room, and he's at this point in the taxi, and he yells at her, "Hey, Melissa, I'm over here." So that's how we knew her name was Melissa. So yeah, that look really threw Brad for a loop there. Yeah, so Melissa was off into the night. So don't get me wrong, I love staying there, and there's always interesting people to meet. This is outside. They got like sort of little swing and a little courtyard with fountains and bird feeders. And in the summer, there's a little barbecue area. I really like this place. They don't have a rodent problem. They did have this squirrel there. Friendly enough squirrel. Actually, I think the squirrel may have been on drugs too, because he was quite aggressive. He's like, hey man, give me some drugs. You got some drugs? Got some drugs? Give me some drugs. I want to come in your room. So I think that squirrel was on fentanyl. He was jonesing pretty hard there. So I guess Great Falls has a real fentanyl problem with the squirrels and girls wearing sweatpants. That's squirrel. Yeah, so there's my room number 5. I always ask for room number 5. And there's that damn squirrel again trying to get drugs from me. He's an aggressive little bugger. Yeah, and I think he was trying to get in my room. Maybe he thought I had fentanyl in my room. Yeah, that squirrel was pretty strung out. So yeah, and all in all, like if you're looking for a reasonable place to stay, it wasn't the quietest, but it was. That's where I stay when I go to Great Falls. So that's the Alberta Motel. So after we checked in, we were off to Howard's Pizza and Classic 50s Casino. There's 4 Howard's locations. This is the southwest location. So this is the 50s themed restaurant. The address is 1800 14th Street Southwest, Great Falls. They're open from 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. They've actually been in business since 1959. There's some of the paraphernalia. So that goes right along with the Rat Pack theme. There's Frank there. So this place just has a great atmosphere. They got lots of pool tables. There's Marilyn. And then I don't know if you remember from episode 1, Elvis Presley did the banana hammock. Thank you very much. So if you haven't watched episode 1, make sure you check it out. My little Elvis impersonation there. And basically, this is my favorite pizza place in the world. I've been to New York, Chicago, all over Italy, and I just love the pizza. There they are, making it in there. So back to, they got a convertible in the actual restaurant, which is awesome. Then on the side there, they have a whole display of 50s paraphernalia. So yeah, make sure you check out episode 1 where I do my hit song, Banana Hammock, Banana Hammock. So yeah, back to the pizza. Like, this pizza is just outstanding. It's super thin crust. They do have a Sicilian, but I always get the thin crust. It's almost thin like a cracker. Excellent sauce and cheese, and then they have a tangy sausage. They call it the tangy. It's a double smoked sausage. There's some of the stuff from the 50s. I think they had a Great Falls brewery back in the day. So just this is just one of my favorite places. There's the pizza there. I actually had the Hawaiian with the tangy. Brad had the kraut, which was the tangy double smoked sausage with sauerkraut. He liked it. But yeah, my pizza was really good. And then the pineapple juices and the ham just kind of all soak into the crust. And again, it's just like that super thin, cracker thin crust. So that's the bar part. They have a giant painting with 50s type vehicles at a gas station. Huge bar. And then on the other side, so the bar's in the middle. The one side they got the restaurant, and then the other side they have the casino, which is just basically slot machines. Next up, the City Bar in downtown Great Falls on Central Avenue. We're going into the City Bar, and we're going to have a Tom and Jerry. All right. So the City Bar is located at 709 Central Avenue, downtown Great Falls. That is the Tom and Jerry. It's a seasonal drink. It started in the 1930s. So the Tom and Jerry is actually a hot toddy. You can buy the batter at the bar. Actually, I did buy a pint of it, and I'm going to take it home and make it at my Tiki Bar. So the City Bar is 80 years old. It's family run, fourth generation. They have 8 different kinds of Moscow mules. The bartenders wear white shirts with ties. It looks quite sharp. That's the wood-burning oven from the 1800s. It's nickel-plated. And then all the walls and stuff have pictures from the patrons from like the 1950s and earlier. And that they have off sales behind the bar. You can see the sign says Tom and Jerry's for sale, and in the early 1930s is when they started making it. So it's a really cool place to have a drink. Lots of slot machines. See the bartender with the white shirt and tie. And then, yeah, it's all decorated with stuff from the 1950s and earlier. It's a calendar from 1953. So definitely stop by the City Bar and have a Tom and Jerry. Next up, Borrie Supper Club in Black Eagle, Montana at 1800 Smelter Avenue. You can see they've been in business for 80 years. They opened in 1938. Tuesdays, they have prime rib night. It's one of the last supper clubs in Montana. Supper clubs were very popular in the 1930s and 40s. The Prohibition roadhouses would later become supper clubs. TripAdvisor actually gives them 4 out of 5, and they rank it the #1 restaurant in Black Eagle. Now, I should mention there's only 3 restaurants in Black Eagle, but this is truly one of my favorites, and it's just over the bridge from Great Falls. So there I'm having the minestrone soup. This is my move. So I get the breadstick, I slather it in butter, and then I put Parmesan on the breadstick. So my favorite salad dressing is house salad dressing. I suspect they put Heinz 57 in this salad dressing. The salad also comes with pepperoni and a mozzarella and salami. And there's the main event. I had top sirloin with the half and half. The half and half is spaghetti and ravioli. They have all kinds of cuts of steak. One was cooked to perfection. So they actually have 7 cuts of steak for their deluxe steak dinners. They have fried chicken, chicken katsu, pan-fried chicken, a wide variety of seafood, burgers, spaghetti, rigatoni, and homemade ravioli. And again, I had the half and half, which again is ravioli and spaghetti. The half and half was not what the guy back at the Alberta Motel paid Melissa to do. Next up, the world famous Sip and Dip Lounge, located at 7 7th Street, Great Falls, Montana. Again, downtown Great Falls. This is one of the best tiki bars in the world. Located on 7th Street in downtown Great Falls, just across the street from the old City Bar. The bar itself is on the 2nd floor, located in the O'Hare Motor Inn. There's also the Lewis and Clark restaurant on the main floor, but they will take the food up to the bar, which is a full-on authentic tiki bar. This bar also has a mermaid tank. which is actually the swimming pool to the hotel, which goes behind the bar, and then there's a pane of glass. Now, according to Wiki, the bar faced a major crisis in 2004 when a crack developed in the glass wall between the bar and the pool, which could have resulted in 22,000 gallons of water emptying into the bar. The bar was open when the crack occurred and was noticed immediately. Staff at the O'Hare immediately began draining the pool, which took 4 hours to complete. The fire department also kept their pumper trucks on standby in case more rapid removal of the water was needed. The old double paned glass was replaced by a triple paned glass. There was an autograph of Nick Nolte and Daryl Hannah, who played the mermaid in the movie Splash, were lost as the crack went right through the autograph. The Sip and Dip Lounge was named #1 bar on earth worth flying for by GQ magazine. And I'm told still on Wednesdays and Fridays you can see greatness as the legendary Piano Pat, who has been playing there for 56 years. The Sip and Dip Lounge opened in 1962, and Piano Pat has been playing there since 1963. She's now 84 years old, so her performances are somewhat limited, but she does play a lot of Johnny Cash, Frank Sinatra, and Neil Diamond. If you ever get a chance to see her, it's quite the show. Like all good tiki bars, they have a number of very good tropical drinks, such as Mai Tais. I recommend the Blue Hawaii. And they also have quite large drinks, one that even comes in an actual fish bowl. So be prepared not to drive if you're drinking. And here is an actual mermaid sighting. Oh, this one appears to be kind of dead and bloated like a goldfish. They may have had a chlamydia outbreak in the mermaid tank. Oh, no, wait, she's alive. She's fine. I just put a $5 in her fishbowl and she blew me a kiss. So there's the mermaid at the world famous Sip and Dip Bar, one of my favorite bars in the world. If you're ever in Great Falls, it's an absolute must. So Sip and Dip Bar at the O'Hare Motor Inn. So we had a great time in Great Falls. I have one more Frank Sinatra quote for you. It says, "Alcohol may be man's worst enemy, but the Bible says to love your enemy." All right, so I took back some of the batter for the Tom and Jerry's from the City Bar. You can buy these. They got half pints, full pints, and I think you can buy a gallon. I'll just read what it says here. It says, place in a mug or a cup, a third a cup of Tom and Jerry's batter, and then fill the cup up almost to the top with hot water. Then add 1 ounce of liquor consisting of 2/3 brandy and 1/3 rum mixed. And you may use either rum or brandy. And then sprinkle nutmeg and serve. So it says keep it refrigerated. It's a secret recipe, but they did tell me don't keep it in the fridge for more than 2 weeks. So I kind of think there's egg whites in there. So I'm going to use my Lucky Red Sox mug. Always use a Lucky mug when you're consuming raw eggs or something you don't know. So we're going to go ahead and mix up a Tom and Jerry. I'm going to put the batter in. Secret recipe from Great Falls, Montana. And then I have boiling water. And then I actually bought this at the City Bar. It's Holly Toddy rum and brandy. So it's a rum and brandy mix. So it's Yeah, I bought it at the city bar. It cost me $11. This is what they use in the Tom and Jerry's that they serve in the bar. But like it says, either rum or brandy or both will work. So in goes the rum and brandy mix. And then I am going to finish it off with a fresh nutmeg. So I got my microplane. Going to ground up some nutmeg. And that's the Tom and Jerry in my lucky mug so I don't have food poisoning. Oh yeah, it's good stuff. Now if you're going to Las Vegas, I have a YouTube channel that I fully recommend if you don't know where you're going to eat. The name of the YouTube channel is called All You Can Vegas. So basically, it's my favorite YouTube channel. It basically inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. So shout out to Derek and All You Can Vegas. I'll put the name of the YouTube channel down on the screen. So definitely check it out if you don't know where you want to eat in Las Vegas. And so next up, I'm going to show you a couple tricks. First one is just my poker chips. So most poker players on TV and in Las Vegas, they can do the chip shuffle. That's actually pretty easy. You just, with your middle finger, lift up the middle portion of the chips and they go together. The trick I'm going to show you is a little more advanced. It's with 4 chips. So I'm going to come around and show you in slow motion, and I'll teach you how to do this trick. So basically this trick is just muscle memory. You just have to practice. When you first start doing it, it's going to be seemingly impossible. So I'll just show you really slowly. So you want to start out practice with 3. And you can do the twirl. And you work your way up to 4. So I'm going to go super slow. So there's the twirl, and then you pull the 2 outer apart, and then the middle finger is going to go on through. So if you just practice, 2 weeks. All right, my next trick, the hat flip. So I'm not too sure if it was in Ocean's 11 or Robin and the Seven Hoods, but I think Frank did a hat flip. You may have did it in both. Put in the comments below if you know which movie Frank did the hat flip. Hat flip's actually quite easy. You just hold it from behind and gotta get it on camera. So it looks much better if, here I'll go behind the bar. It looks much better if you're walking when you do it, but it's just holding it this way and then. So I think Frank usually went out over the coat rack, grabbed his hat, and as he was leaving, did the hat flip. And those are my 2 Vegas tricks. So up next, we're gonna I'm going to show you a clip from Hawaii. It doesn't get any more old school than this. I'm going to show you where I had famous Chicken Katsu. This is an authentic Japanese restaurant that's been open since 1927. Then I'm going to show you my favorite place that I had katsu. It's more of a Hawaiian plate, Duke's Waikiki. And then I'm going to make you some chicken katsu. So stay tuned. So this is the Tonkatsu Ginza Bairin, located just steps away from Waikiki Beach. TripAdvisor gives it 4 out of 5. There's a long wait, so make sure you make a reservation. The name Ginza refers to an area in Tokyo, and it appears this is the where the original katsu sauce was born. Tonkatsu is a breaded cutlet. I actually ordered the chicken, but after I ordered it became apparent they specialized in pork. So next time I probably get the pork. They had a really thick cutlet and then a thinner one. So I would definitely recommend this place. They've been in business since 1927, so they must be doing something right. Now this is the traditional Japanese tonkatsu. Next up, I'm going to have a Hawaiian plate, and it's my favorite place to have chicken katsu. So this is Duke's Beach Bar. It's located at 2335 Kalakua Avenue. It's right on the most popular part of Waikiki Beach, right on the beach. That's the name of the hotel. The Outrigger Waikiki Resort is the hotel that it's located in. They have breakfast buffet, 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Lunch buffet, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Dinner till 10 p.m. The Barefoot Bar is open 11 a.m. to midnight, and they have live music occasionally. So this bar is named after Duke Kahanamoku. So I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the legend of Duke Kahanamoku. He's Hawaii's most famous citizen and father of international surfing. He was born in 1890 in Honolulu. In 1911, he broke 3 freestyle world records in the first swimming races in Honolulu Harbor. In 1912, he won 2 gold medals in Stockholm, Sweden, a gold medal setting the world record for the 100-meter freestyle, and a silver with 2 U.S. freestyle relay teams. Then in 1920, won 2 more gold medals for swimming in the Antwerp Olympics for the 100-meter freestyle and the U.S. freestyle relay team. In 1922 to 1930, he lived in Los Angeles and played parts in over 28 Hollywood movies. 1924, he won a silver medal in the Paris Olympics for the 100-meter freestyle. Then in 1925, he performed a heroic board rescue of 8 drowning men at Newport Beach, California. In 1929, he rode a monster wave for 1 1/8 miles at Waikiki, likely the longest ride in modern times. 1932, at age 42, he won a bronze medal as an alternate in the U.S. water polo team in the Los Angeles Olympics. 1934 to 1959, he was the sheriff for the city and county of Honolulu, and he was reelected 13 times. In 1960, he was appointed the new State of Hawaii official ambassador of Aloha. In 1965, he was inducted into the Swimming Hall of Fame. 1966, he was inducted into the Surfing Hall of Fame. And then 1984, he was inducted into the U.S. Olympic Hall of Fame. So enough about Duke the Legend. I'm going to have some chicken katsu. Now, this is my favorite place in the world to have chicken katsu as a Hawaiian plate. Of course, I was dining al fresco as Duke's overlooks beautiful Waikiki Beach. They have a number of tropical drinks. I think I had the Pacifico beer, which was on special that day. And as you can see, really nice view. Just off to the left there is Diamond Head. And then, so they have 3 entrances. That's the entrance to get in from the beach. There's a side entrance, and you can also enter from the hotel. And there's my chicken katsu. So as you can see, it's a typical Hawaiian plate. I had the katsu sauce, which was possibly invented at the previous place I was at. And then, of course, it comes with macaroni salad, the Hawaiian macaroni salad, and a scoop of sticky Japanese rice. All right, so we're making some chicken katsu. I got all the ingredients already laid out. So I got a little bit of milk and eggs, the flour, and breadcrumbs. I always use panko breadcrumbs, Japanese breadcrumbs. Even for fried chicken, it works the best. So we'll get these in order. So I do the flour, then the eggs, then the breadcrumbs. The best way to remember that is the month of Feb. Flour, egg, breadcrumbs. And I got chicken breast here. I'm just pounding it flat. I prefer to use the flat side. If I use the jagged side, it's a bit more like a cutlet. It is a cutlet, but I like the chickeny feel. And then, so what I did is overnight, I had already pounded some, and I marinated it in buttermilk. So that again, that's more of a fried chicken type marinade. So what we'll do is we'll work with 2 hands. So you do the dry ingredients with one hand and the wet ingredients with the other hand. So it's a 2-hand job. I always say 2-hand jobs is better than one. So here we go. I'm going to do grab it with the wet hand, put it in the dry, and then the dry hand goes to the wet eggs, and then the wet hand goes to the dry breadcrumbs. And I'm gonna fry it in my Dutch oven. Another good tip is when I was at the New Orleans School of Cooking, and a guy by the big name of Big Kev he was a football player. He used to play for LSU and a little bit in the CFL. And then he cooked at a restaurant called Little Dizzy's, which is a reference to Dizzy Gillespie. So anyways, his tip on fried chicken, and by the way, Little Dizzy's had the best fried chicken in New Orleans, is when it's frying, so you want about a 350 to 375 heat, and then you get a chopstick and give it a little poke so the oil gets into the flesh, and then it cooks more evenly. So that's my tip, and that works perfectly for fried chicken or what we're doing here, katsu. Alright guys, so my katsu turned out pretty good. I did the traditional Hawaiian plate. So I got the macaroni salad. Now traditional Hawaiian macaroni salad is usually just mayonnaise. I got some vegetables in there, and I actually did like a buffalo hot wings pasta salad where I put all the blue cheese and the hot sauce and chunks of chicken and everything you'd have in a buffalo wings, like with the celery and carrots and a little bit of ranch. And then I went all chefy on the rice. I put a little water in the cup and then I just put the cup in so it just for presentation. But that, again, that's Kohiko Rose Japanese sticky rice. And the katsu turned out pretty good. It's nice and juicy. I got the katsu sauce here for dipping. I went with Kiko Man. They make a good katsu sauce. I think there's some recipes that you can make it with ketchup. You just jazz up the ketchup. But I'll give it a try. Dunk in the sauce. That is delicious. Mookie's eyeballing me, and I think she wants a little bit. So that's chicken katsu, Hawaiian style. All right, so that concludes our Rat Pack and Old School themed episode. Special thanks goes out to Melissa, the sweatpant wearing fentanyl addict in Great Falls, which made Brad think he was not in room number 2 and made me laugh my ass off. So if you like the video, give me a like at the bottom and make sure you subscribe. I'm going to leave you with another Frank quote. You only go around once in this life, but if you do it right, once is enough. See you next time on Chappy's Tiki Bar.